Hi everyone. Listen, I'm gonna talk about a bit about the new king, okay? The new appointed king, and I'm gonna take you back to the cave or the Ark of the Covenant because there's a man that's gone there with a gold detector, one of the best gold detectors there is in the market, practically, and I'm gonna show you the result. And the part about the king, the King Charles, okay, is because I talked about this a month ago, about that speech that he was referring to somebody that possesses trillions and we needed a vast military campaign. You know, this was, the Queen was still alive and I was talking about this, okay? Now he's king. I also said in that video that soon he was going to be a king. Now, this is the man who is going to lead all this climate thing. See, remember, listen, remember, everything is going to make look like it's the best thing for humanity, and I get it. Listen, you don't have to be Einstein to know that we have to take care of the planet. Okay, that's common sense. Listen, but they're going to use all that for a different agenda, and they will say that it's conspiracy theories since the name the Great Reset came out. Thousands, I imagine, me imagino lo que se tiene que estar hablando los trabajos, ¿saben? De trabajadores, listen. There are many of those kind of conspiracies, and I'm not talking about one of those. What I'm talking is biblical, okay? Biblical is the book that practically nobody believes, that one. So, okay, and what I'm saying is not that it is, but let's have a look, okay? Let's have a look at the double-decker rainbow that came out in Buckingham Palace just before her announcement of her death came. Weird. Or a sign. Yeah. Let's have a look. These are the pictures, okay? You've probably seen it. See, double-decker. All the other pictures, guy. See? Stunning. Stunning. Y por la cara, ¿eh? Qué casualidad. Let's have a look.
Finally tonight, a special remembrance of the 70-year reign of a world leader. Tonight, the most spectacular image, a double rainbow over Buckingham Palace that appeared just moments before the royal family announced her passing as crowds gathered to say goodbye. The rainbow to some a sign, its long arc a reminder of her long reign and her lasting legacy.
See? Double-decker rainbow. What? Now everybody knows that the rainbow, the first time it came out, was when Noah, okay, his ark landed and everything stopped and the waters receded and this rainbow came out, and it was a promise. See, Genesis 9:8. Okay, behold, I establish my covenant with you and your offsprings after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every beast of the earth with you, as many as came out of the ark, that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. That was the promise. But it was going to be by fire. Okay, judgment by fire. So, and in other parts of the Bible, like for example, God made covenant with Noah, who represented all future people regarding his creation. The events of the book of Genesis introduce us to how God initiates and makes covenants with his chosen people, pledging his love and faithfulness to them and calling them to promise theirs to him. Okay, so listen, I've always had this in mind. She's the longest reigning monarch, okay? And everything she's done, to all many nations. There are many nations that may differ, okay? But that's the earth, that's the world. Nobody loves everybody, okay? So listen, Jesus Christ is how do I call it? The humblest person who ever lived. And 3/4 of the world hate him. So yeah. So listen, the thing is that her death is announced. A double-decker rainbow, like maybe you imagine this, a sign from God, like that was the covenant he made with a good queen. Now her son takes over. Is he the same? Because I know the queen believed in God and she was a denounced Christian, no, an Anglo-Saxon church, no, Orthodox, but she believed in God. I don't think I'm going to say the same by Hassan. And just remember that Davos and the Great Reset and everything from the climate change, Mr. Klaus Schwab and his people and his advisor Yuval Harari. Okay, now I'll show you why all this. You know why? What is the intention? It's just the intention that I want to show you. Okay, so conspiracy. So okay, let's go and show you a bit now about the king. Okay, here in this newspaper it says, a king for the climate takes the throne in England. See, a king for the climate. When Prince Charles became King III on Thursday, after the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, his decades-long crusades to elevate environmental protection ascended to the throne with him. See? This is the man who wants to lead this climate thing. Okay, so listen. Anything that's good for the planet, that's the way it's supposed to be. No tengo que llegar hasta ahora. The way is that they want to make a different move with it, okay, and use and capture everybody by por lo obvio. When you see the obvious, that's when Satan comes in. Because people are going to say, yeah, bro, can you see the planet that's going down? Of course, the climate change. But can you see it? Why are you against it? Like, hey, I'm not against good things. I know what's going on behind the curtains. Maybe other people are blind, and this is why I'm doing these videos. So let me show you that speech that I showed you a month ago before he was king and his mother was still alive. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. He was referring about this third entity that possesses trillions. There's no trillionaire on the planet. The richest person is Elon Musk, and he has 56 billion or something. There's no trillionaire. One can reach a trillion, but he is saying that he possesses trillions in plural. So let's have a look. Mr. No More Scarecrow Boris Johnson, yeah, Johnson & Johnson, and Mr. Gutierrez, okay, this man, okay, and all the world leaders there.
No, this will take trillions, not billions of dollars.
UN climate change, okay? I showed you this speech already, okay? So I'm taking you back, okay?
We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green.
Just listen, please.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With trillions at his disposal.
I'm going to show you a bit closer and closer so you can see the subtitles. With trillions at his disposal. Who is his? Who is that? Who is? Okay, let's see now what he says after this. We need a vast military campaign. He said this in 2021. See, a few months after that, the war in Russia started. See, so they needed this war maybe. Okay, let's carry on. See what he says now.
Beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect.
I'm going to go back and...
GDP, and with the greatest respect...
Let's go back.
...style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With
trillions at his disposal, and beyond any governments of the... Just listen, come on, listen, and just look at the subtitles, okay? Please.
At his disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest...
Let's hear it again, please.
With trillions at his disposal.
At his disposal.
Far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
Trillions at his disposal. Who is he? You know what I'm getting at? At his disposal, beyond any government, with all the respect, what he said, any government of the world. Leaders. And now he's king. And now he's king. Okay, so It's all for this man, Klaus Schwab. And I've left this page because this comes from the BBC. Okay, look at this. Okay, what is the Great Reset and how did it get hijacked by conspiracy theories? Okay, because I want to show you everything. Okay, you see many people there and different things, different conspiracies. You sabe, even videos. You might see. You can check it all out. You know, I show you everything. I show you everything. Okay, see, a conspiracy theory is born. Okay, I will not comply, UN agenda, you know, all this. Listen. You think they're gonna come out and say, oh, these people are right in the streets? Of course not. So they're gonna put you with all this climate change and stuff, so you can think that these people in the streets are crazy. Claro. So let me take you to a verse here. In Revelation 12, remember that great sign, the woman appeared in the heavens, which one I showed you. Okay, now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Okay, that one that I already showed you. Okay, that happened in 2017. Now, and another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 diadems. Now, that phrase, okay, and another sign that appears in heaven, okay, everything that appears in heaven as signs to what is going to happen on earth. And another sign appeared in heaven, behold, a great fiery, see, behold, a fiery red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, remember that the 10 heads represent Europe. And the 7 heads are, have you ever, like, for example, heard of the G7? There was a G8, but they threw Russia out, and now they are the G7, okay? Those are the from the Roman Empire. Remember I did this video that broke up and split it into nations, and 10 kings was raised, power was given to them. Okay, now, listen to this. This is like, maybe it's a clue or something, okay, because it's talking about what Jesus suffered, that he was going to be born, persecuted by the dragon, and then he was caught up by God to his throne, okay? But listen, what about this great fiery red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns? It's a representation of something, okay? His tail drew 1/3 of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth, okay? Listen to this. If we come here, in Revelation 13, one after, it's saying about the beast that arises from the sea. Okay, what's this one? And look, then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising out of the sea. Remember, it's not a beast, a monster. It's talking about a political system, something. A beast rising up of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? And on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads blasphemous names. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet was like a feet of bear, and his mouth like a mouth of a lion. Okay? Remember, the lion is the representation of the throne of England. The dragon gave him his power, his throne and great authority, and I saw one of his heads as he had them mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed, como one of his heads of state, and all of the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshipped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him? You see? So, the fiery red dragon, 10 horns, 10 horns, is talking about the European Union nations that came out of the of the Roman Empire, which was led by the Pope, practically. Okay? The fiery red dragon. Listen, king, now he was Prince of Wales, yes? Prince of Wales has a red dragon in its flag, yes? Yes. It is considered that the Welsh kings of L.Ferrary first adopted the dragon in the early 5th century in order to symbolize their power and authority after the Romans withdrew from Britain. Later, around the 7th century, it became known as the Red Dragon of Cawaldara, or Cawalad, king of Guinea from 655 to 682. See? Red dragon. What is the dragon of Wales called? Y Gosh. In Welsh, the dragon is commonly referred to as Y Gosh, which literally translates to the red dragon. See what I mean? It's this dragon with the 7 heads. It's a symbol. It's a symbol. He's a leader of 10 nations. And 10 nations, in those days, 3 nations were uprooted and existed no more. And only 7 remained. See, out of the 10 heads, and that's why it's representing 10 heads and 7 horns, because 3 of them were plucked out from its root. And it's like giving you a symbolization of what's going to happen at the end of days. It's the Roman Empire, and this system that came out of Europe from the Roman Empire is going to arise. And the Pope is with him on this great reset and the climate change, Laudato Si, 2030 agenda, which they say is a conspiracy. Is it? Is it a conspiracy? Yeah. Look. Okay, this is the Pope and the Church and everything, okay? And the UN has also been working on the same path with them, with its 2030 agenda. Okay? From Pope Francis today to Pope Paul yesterday, passing by Pope Emeritus Benedict. The Church has always been concerned with the integrity of creation, drawing attention of various times, blah, 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 like Greta Thunberg said. Itself a precursor of the UN 2030 agenda. Okay, now the blah, blah, blah girl is that Greta Thunberg. Everybody has seen her before. See this little girl, Laudato Si. Teen activist Greta Thunberg arrives in New York by boat, putting climate crisis on spotlight. Okay? To show appreciation and solidarity for her mission towards a better world by 2030, the UN greeted the 16-year-old at the Venerazzo Narrows Bridge with a flotilla of 17 boats. Okay? So, she is also appointed to that 2030 agenda. See? Message of His Holiness Pope Francis to Professor Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2014. See, this was already been talked in that time. Okay? Now here is where I want to try. Okay? This is the man, Klaus Schwab. This is the man who leads this economic forum. Okay? Listen, and I know it's for the best for the future, is this. Listen, we know the world needs that. But they want to take advantage for another agenda. And do you think they're going to come out in the television saying, this conspiracy theories, come on, listen, there's no climate change, I'm already going to tell you again. It's God's judgment, it's coming. So they're going to make you believe it's climate change. No. It's heating up because, like I've shown you many times, a day will come that will bake like an oven. And God's promised to Noah that the next judgment will be by fire, by heat. No climate change. Heat, God's judgment. But they want to take God out of the way. And why? The king and the agenda, why? This looks good. Listen. Listen. These are the people that work with Klaus Schwab. See? George Soros and this man, Yuval Noah Harari. This man. Okay? He is the advisor for the Great Reset. For all these people, okay? That man. So I'm gonna remind you who that man is, okay? Just listen to him.
Governments and corporations, for the first time in history, have the power to basically hack human beings. There is a lot of talk about hacking computers, hacking smartphones, hacking bank accounts, but the big story of our era is the ability to hack human beings. And by this I mean that if you have enough data, and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. And in such a situation, the old democratic system stopped functioning. We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals. The whole idea that humans have, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. We need to come to terms with the fact
that man, the free will of God, that's over. That's the man that works with them. This is the man that works with them. That's the advisor for Shroud, the man who's working with the now king and all this agenda and the Pope and everything. And I'm going to show you a bit more about this man. Yeah, I'm going to show you a bit more about this man. Yeah. So, okay. So this man says, see, the World Economic Forum advisor, this man, we will become gods. What listeners say about we will become gods, Yuval Noah Harari, World Economic Forum advisor. Okay? Sorry. Please, listen to this clip.
thing God managed to create are organic beings. All these trees and giraffes and humans, they are just organic. But we are now trying to create inorganic entities, inorganic life forms, cyborgs, artificial intelligence, and so forth. If we succeed, and there is a very good chance we will, then very soon we will be beyond the God of the Bible.
We will be beyond the God of the Bible. No velo intentions. Free will is over. We will be beyond the God of the Bible. This is what these people are trying to do. There's no care about us ni nada. They want an agenda, and that's what's coming. And they're gonna make you believe, okay, that's the best thing. Listen, like Ron Wyatt. Remember I showed you Ron Wyatt, the man of the Ark of the Covenant. This. The man who found all these treasures around the world. The man who changed my life. The video that appeared from him, that God sent me, was from him. That man. That man said how the mark of the beast was going to come. I showed it in a video. He said that it was going to look like the best thing that's ever happened to humanity, and you just have to go along with it. There, I am the mark of the beast. And I don't know if it's going to be a chip or all these conspiracy theories of chips and this and that. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm not going to fall into that. It can be a chip. It can be so many things. So that's when the Ark of the Covenant will be shown to the world. The video of Ron Wyatt. And these are the people who are going to organize it. The new kings, are, like Revelation, new kings will be given authority. See? So I'm just showing you all this stuff. Why? Because el motive de este hombre Harari. Can you see where he's coming? We shall be as gods. What Satan said to Adam and Eve. Eat of the tree. Surely you will not die, but you shall be as gods. See? And it's going to be liderated by the new king. Not the queen. Not the queen. Hassan. So, the fiery red dragon, these 10 nations who represents what in Revelation says about the 10 heads, 7 horns. I showed you the statue of the beast outside the United Nations building that had the beast, the leopard, the feet like a bear and the mouth like a lion, wings of a wiggle, of an eagle, all of a sudden there, you know, weird, eh? And now you try and find it and they remove the statue because of the conspiracies and, you know. So all this agenda, I just wanted to put it out, okay? If you want, I can show you more, but there are many videos that you all can go and just check about this agenda. Listen, I know it's going to be for everybody having equality and everybody treated equally and all this, that they're going to make you believe, oh, of course all this is good, but why are they doing it now? This has to be like this always. Always. Not, why now? Porque ahora tanto, ¿sabe? Why now? They want to make this, come on. They want to remove poverty. Now they want to do this and remove poverty from the earth. Why now? Why? How many millions have died of poverty? And now? All of a sudden now, to a rush. They want to use the pandemic. So, listen, can you see in Revelation, can you see how the beast is forming? Listen, the beast is not gonna come showing you strange things, cosas malas que va a pasar y tú, yo no, que va, al revés, y ahí donde viene Satan. Satan le dijo mitad verdad y mitad mentira en el garden, para que cayera Adam and Eve. Así es como viene. Pero no, déjalo, yo estoy en el mundo de los conspiracy theories, I've seen many videos of conspiracy theories, and many subjects that I don't believe. Listen, when Ron Wyatt found the Noah's Ark in Ararat, this is the picture he took, and he couldn't believe it. Okay, he actually got this shot. See? Ahí está el Ark, Mountains of Ararat, and a rainbow. Ese era más o menos el shot que Noah, cuando aterrizó y las aguas empezaron a bajar and stopped raining, that came out for the first time. Simply amazing. Wow. So, listen, I'll talk about more about this subject, okay? About what's going on with this UN and all this stuff. But first, I want to show you this. See that? That's one of the best, most powerful gold detectors there's in the market. Okay? Why am I showing that? Because, look, I want to show you a bit of how it works. Okay? Mira el pinpoint accuracy que tiene con una pelotita así de chica. ¿Vale? Look, that's how it works, okay?
Welcome to our YouTube channel where we are looking for treasure.
See?
We discovered a very nice treasure place again today.
Okay, we're gonna stop it. And we're gonna go now to that place. Okay, look at this. This is where Ron Wyatt said that this, the famous Ark of the Covenant with the 10 Commandments of gold, remember the famous, is down there, okay? Down there, okay? Because he found the carvings in the wall where they put the 3 signs in 3 different languages, Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, of the death of Jesus. He found the 3 cross holes in the floor, and in the middle of the cross hole, he found a crack in the floor. So he started digging, and his arm just pointed down and said, the Ark of the Covenant is there. He knew that the earthquake was, because of the blood and water with the spear, was going to go down and fall on top of there. That was his new covenant. See, that's why his blood paid for all the sacrifices of the world. So, this person takes one of those machines that I just shown you, and let's see what happens. Look.
Location of the Ark. After receiving these readings, the detector was positioned over the spot that should be the center of where the detector had been pointing. When placed over the spot, the detector began to spin, meaning the gold is directly below. This was still another confirmation. When moved away from this spot several feet, it would point back to where the Ark should be. It repeated this time after time without failure. The idea then came that the detector should get a real workout.
Look, you see this? These arcs here. This has been covered with seeds by the Israeli people. Pero eso donde pusieron, that's where they put the signs in the 3 different languages, and where Ron digged and found the cross holes. Look, I'm gonna show you, because I printed it out. I can show you better. Okay, I printed out a few pictures, like the first picture that Noah found in a magazine in 1957, I think it was. See the boat-shaped formation? An astronaut in a plane shot it down in the mountains of Ararat. That's where Ron Wyatt goes and finds the Ark. That they say that it's a natural formation. You can see it's a boat shape, and all this is the lava coming down with the boat. Boost. See? Just wanted to put that out. Found the cross holes, See? 3 of them. And one of them he found the crack that goes down, that's why he started digging. But that picture that I'm showing you right now is this. See? That. Ahí donde pusieron los 3 carteles. Okay? In 3 different languages. And when he started digging there, he found that 3 cross holes. Jesus was crucified in the middle with both criminals in the side. And down there is the Ark of the Covenant. So, this, what you see here, ¿sí? Es eso. Pero lo han tapado, ellos han puesto como seats ahí, eso lo han tapado. Lo saben, Israel no quieren saber nada, que eso era de Jesus crucifixion. And that mountain is Golgotha. See, the mountain of the skull face that I showed you. There. Okay, so you know where we are.
How about trying it from 65 and 100 feet, respectively, from 3 different directions? Could the detectors still find the Ark?
Parado.
First, it was positioned at the overlook for Skull Hill, that is a raised platform at about 100 feet from where the Ark should be.
Sí.
Amazingly, it once again pointed to the Ark.
Pointed.
Next, it was positioned 65 feet directly out from the rock face, and once again it pointed to the Ark. Finally, it was positioned 100 feet toward the entrance to the Garden Tomb grounds, and once again it pointed to the Ark. In order to get these long-distance test results, there would have to be a large amount of gold in that location. All in all, there were 36 test results. Every test that was done with the detector confirmed there was gold in the direction of the Ark as reported by the late Ron Wyatt. There were no tests that contradicted this site. End quote. So you can see it's starting to spin because the guy is going over that spot again. And whenever this guy goes over that spot, it spins. And whenever he's not at that spot, it points back to that spot. Now, I have to admit, this was one of the most difficult things to research out of all the stuff that I've looked into when it comes to Ron Wyatt, because these metal detectors, or as they're more properly known as frequency detectors, have a lot of fake scam versions floating around on the internet. And it was very difficult to determine if this is actually something that could possibly be real at all. And once I asked my wife, she looked into it, she actually found out that these things can be real. It's just really rare because people are not looking for giant amounts of gold like this thing would find. If you're going to find a random piece of gold underground, you're not where are you going to look? This thing is not going to work very well for finding a little piece of gold that's buried into the ground like most people are going to randomly find, if they find anything at all. I mean, the device itself, these devices cost a lot of money, the real ones. And if you spend that much money and you actually end up finding something as well, like those two things might be kind of hard to put together because of just the statistical likelihood of you just walking around and finding a gold watch buried into the ground or something is just so rare that the reports of success are just nowhere to be found.
So, see, it's in a spot where the Ark of the Covenant is down there. See, that's there, in downstairs.
Ended up with a cold.
I'm gonna put it full screen.
Ron's 2 sons went back to the States, and Ron had to rely on help from others to continue. He wasn't going to give up, and felt God had promised him that he would find the Ark on this specific trip. But now he had used all of his money, he was sick, and the work was very hard and exhausting. One of the locals that were helping him went
That's
through
an
some
animation
of the smaller
of
openings as
him
he
going
was
inside,
better
right?
and could get into places Ron couldn't. While looking around, Ron found a chimney-like passage, and from there, a small tunnel where Ron had to exhale in order to squeeze himself through.
He found that stalactite that he has in his house.
He then noticed a stalactite about 16 inches long in front of the cliff wall. A hole, and Ron tried to look through it without any luck. So he enlarged it a little and could see a cave inside, but it didn't look too promising and appeared to be a cave full of rocks. But he was determined to look everywhere. He enlarged the hole enough for his helper to crawl in.
See, I'm gonna show you a bit here. See? Well, the ark was hidden there.
Ron was passed out for some time.
And the blood came through
He
the crack.
later came back to the cave and managed to confirm
into the cracked
that it really was the Ark of
top
the Covenant.
inside the ark. See? Boom.
He informed the Israeli government of the discovery, but was told to keep it quiet. But Ron could not stay silent for long. Ron visited the chamber several times and reported that several items were in there in addition to the Ark of the Covenant in the stone case. The 7-branch candlestick holder with their lamps from the original sanctuary, the golden altar of incense, the table of showbread, a golden censer, an ephod, a mitra with an ivory pomegranate on the tip, a brass shekel weight, oil lamps and a brass ring, and a very large sword.
The Goliath sword that I already talked. That's what you found inside there. On the Ark of the Covenant.
In the back of the ark was a small open cubicle which still contains the Book of the Law, presumably the one Moses himself wrote.
The Book of the Law.
To his understanding, the Book of Genesis was not there. It amazed Ron that these scrolls written on animal skins were still in perfect condition.
That's what he found inside.
He then began to realize that the ark had to have been taken into this chamber somehow. It couldn't be where he entered because he had cut through stone to get in.
See, so that's underneath. That's what's there. That's what's there. And it's brilliant, eh? It's marvelous. It's marvelous. Trying to find. It's I'm going to show you a wall that is inside Hezekiah's tunnel and show you. Yeah. That's in Hezekiah's tunnel. If you try and find that video where he comes out here, there you will see a bit more.
I can't, I saw
You can see all the crack.
See? Filled in the cracks that came down through here.
Look.
So you yourself
all the crack.
I saw it before we filled it in.
See all the crack from the earthquake when Jesus was crucified. It says that there was a crack. Look, here.
And it's sealed off right now because Israel sealed it off.
And then you can also see a wall that Ron Wyatt is standing in here.
Man-made
and let's
wall.
take a closer look at this wall.
Mira, va ahí. Es el wall. Por Hezekiah's tunnel. So the Ark of the Covenant you can penetrate that wall, and the Ark of the Covenant is there. So, and Israel has sealed it off. Okay, you can actually go to that place, but that's it. But it's the only one that you can see that it's man-made. And put all rocks as in to cover it up. That's when Jeremiah tried to hide the Ark of the Covenant when Nebuchadnezzar was gonna sack Jerusalem. See, about 1,000 years before Christ, it was hidden there in the correct place, in the correct moment when Jesus was gonna be crucified and his blood came. Oh, yeah. Listen, if all this is a conspiracy, then God and the Bible is not real. It's not real. You know, but there's a book that people know more, and unfortunately it's a bit more famous than the Bible. And it's the book of the boy who cried wolf. The boy who cried wolf. Remember that story? Because nobody forgets. And it will all seem to be the best thing for humanity, the best for this, the best for that. And listen, that's where it comes in. That's where you have to be careful. So, listen, you're not going to see a monster coming there and you're going to recognize. No. Jesus said all the time, okay, there are wolves, but they will come in sheep's clothing. That's what I'm trying to say. They will come as sheep, but inside, como dice Jesus, they are ravenous wolves. So, listen, the Queen, I know that for some reason God left her to reign all that long, but let's see. let's see, with this agenda and all this, that's gonna make you believe that it's the best stuff. Yeah, the best stuff. We should always be like that. Now in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s, no, why now? And why with this agenda? See? And then they'll tell you, it's conspiracy theories. Yeah, right. So, catch you in the next video. Listen, people, take care out there. Take care. Read a bit more the Bible. Try and listen to what God is trying to say. God is a God of love. He will never try and ruin your life. He will never try and do anything wrong in your life. Listen, he always says the spirits who talk to you, well, you have to recognize which one is the Spirit of God. Okay? And please research that. Come on. Take care. Most of all, take care. People who don't understand this, or listen, talk to me. We can go over things, and okay? Because I've been hearing stories, this and that, and listen, he's a God of love. Everybody's trying to push him like he's the God of leading people the wrong. No. That's not him. That's not God. So, please, people, come on. I love you all, and God loves you more than anything in the entire creation. So, come on, man. Okay? And Christmas is coming up, so listen, take care. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. And I'm not doing any videos from Russia or anything, because I think that's about to explode, these people. Russia left these people yesterday without lights, or it's getting dark. The whole of Europe is going to experience a cruel winter, so I'll make another video that's only about that, okay? But I don't want to make it about anything, just put anything, okay? When something real that I know, that I can feel it. So see you in the next one, okay? Love you all, take care, and God bless.